Welcome to Talk Time with Lyla, where the entertainment industry comes to share. Hey everybody, welcome to Talk Time with Lyla. You will notice that this is a little bit of a different format. We've been doing these on interviews on Instagram Lives for a few years now. And one of my 2026 resolutions was to make the jump to make this into a proper podcast. So this first episode is a little bit different because now that I have a whole new dance community that I'm a part of, I wanted to give everybody an opportunity to learn who I am because through the years I've been interviewing a lot of other people. So I invited the one and only Glenn Ball on the podcast.
Hello. The one person that can really find out who you are. Right. You're like, who can interview me and find out the gossip and
Who's
the details?
Get into the details, yes. So this episode, Glenn is here and he's actually going to be interviewing me. I don't know, fun little twist on everything. And I just, one of the reasons I got into West Coast Swing was to bring my art to a national platform. So here I am, first episode with champion Glenn Ball, and I'm going to throw it over to you.
Well, welcome, Lyla. So tell me, first we're going to jump straight in.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Who are you? Who is Lyla Ruth? So go back to the beginning, as it were. So first dance stages.
First dance stages ever?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. I've been dancing for a long time. I started dancing when I was 3.
Oh wow.
And the reason I started dancing, funny enough, was actually because I'm a little bit pigeon-toed.
Okay.
So my mom was talking to the doctor, and he suggested that I start taking ballet class.
What a good doctor.
Yeah, correct my turnout. And turns out I loved it.
Yeah.
So I've literally probably spent more time in a studio in my life than anywhere else. And I know a bazillion different dance forms. And now, to be totally honest, I feel like it's my reason for being on this earth to help people live happier lives through dance and dance education. So there you go.
So you started with ballet, then what other dance forms did you do at a young age?
Yeah, tap, jazz, ballet, lyrical, modern. To be honest, when I was coming up in the studio, hip hop really wasn't in the studios yet, so I didn't learn that until later. But my main solo dance form is actually tap dancing.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say first and foremost. So yeah, because I know you as an awesome tapper.
Thank you.
That's sweet.
I love it.
Yeah. So then what else did you do as a young kid away from dance? Did you have other sports that you played, or were you academic, or?
Yeah, no, I really just loved the arts. I dabbled in track and stuff like that. My dad always made sure that I learned how to throw a baseball and play basketball. And all those
You're going to do this as well. That's awesome.
But I mostly just danced.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny as an adult, people ask me what are your hobbies? And I'm like, oh wow. Maybe I need to get some other hobbies.
Yeah. It's always funny when people say to me, "You're so good, and I go, "Yeah, this is all I can do." This is it. Yeah. So then when did you start teaching?
Honestly, when I was 11.
Oh, really? With your school you were at or something like that?
Okay. At my dance studio, I started assisting classes, and by the time I was a senior in high school, I was hired by the public schools in Buffalo, New York, to start delivering dance classes. So I've literally been teaching half my life.
That's awesome. And all different dance forms?
Yeah, I mean, I started tap, jazz, ballet. I would choreograph if they had a show or something like that, a little number with the kids. Yeah. That's how I started.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and then in high school, I also did I can't even remember the name of it, workshops where, they would invite different students in the arts to choreograph pieces for a bigger student show or something like that. But
yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, that sounds, and you knew that's all you wanted to do. That was it.
Yeah. I used to walk around, take walks, and envision myself, honestly, on a platform like I am now in West Coast Swing, traveling around, with a dance partner and just bringing my love of dance and education to as many people as possible.
So when did West Coast Swing come into all of this?
Oh, that's a story. 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not that long ago. I thought I'd known you longer.
You always say that.
Yeah. Like, wait a sec. Maybe it's just my memory, but yeah, exactly.
Kindred spirits.
Yeah.
That's funny. So I found West Coast Swing actually kind of when I was, so prior to COVID and all that situation, mostly what I was doing was producing and choreographing.
Yeah.
And in 2021, I had a really amazing show that I produced that I loved, and I produced it all myself. And it was always meant to be a tour. And then my dad got really sick.
Okay.
So I was not able to take that show on tour, but basically I was out social dancing at a Lindy Hop function one time, and I ran into Stephen White when I was out. When we kind of like stayed in touch a little bit. And then in 2022, this is so true. My dad was super sick. He was in the emergency room. He actually got brain cancer.
Oh, God.
I was sitting in the hotel room because I recognized that my whole life was going to change because I had to care for my parents now. And he lived in Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
So basically all of 2022, I commuted from Buffalo to Clearwater every single week. I would be in Buffalo Thursday to Sunday. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'd be in Clearwater. And, I have 2 kids. So at the time I was still homeschooling my kids. Thank God my daughter was a little older and helped out. But I didn't really have a lot of time for dance on my schedule. And I took a look at my future without dance and realized that honestly, it would be miserable. It was very dramatic. Literally like sitting like this. This is what I was thinking. I was working out my schedule. And I said to myself, come heaven, hell, or high water, I am going to get through this still dancing. And at that time, I didn't really even know what West Coast Swing was. Actually, that's not entirely true. I had connected with Hugo and Stacy beforehand because I did a show at their studio, but I hadn't, just the schedules hadn't worked out and I hadn't really explored it. And then shortly after that, I got like a notification from Steven. He liked one of my posts or answered a message or something like that. And I was like, I remember you. So I messaged him and I was like, hey, I don't really know what dance form you do, but I liked dancing with you. Do you do lessons? And he was like, yeah. So I started dancing, and even after like a month, I still didn't know what I was doing.
That's probably Steven's teaching.
Maybe.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, there you go. So I started asking around because it was so bizarre to me that there was another professional dancer in Tampa that I didn't know. And so I reached out to somebody. They were like, well, he's a champion West Coast swing dancer. And I was like, what's a champion? So then I went on YouTube and the rest was history. I was like, hole. Oh my gosh, this is the artistic voice that I have been looking for.
That's awesome.
But it was funny. I didn't start dancing locally because I couldn't because of my schedule. So I would sneak off to a dance event for a couple of days. That's really how I started. Now I'm fully immersed in the Florida community. I work for Hugo and Stacy and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's literally how it started.
That's so cool. So I'm going to be nosy. You mentioned the show. What was the show called that you produced?
It's called It Don't Mean a Thing, a tribute to swing.
Yes, I remember you telling me. Is the plan to ever revisit that?
Definitely.
Okay, good.
Yeah, by the end of the year.
Cool. 2026 is your year.
It's coming. Yeah. I had a conversation with another artist recently, and I was telling him like, I really want to get it up, and I don't know if I should do the same show or a different show. He was like, launch the same show. It was successful. Stop just get it up. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, this is the year.
This is the year it's happening.
That's awesome. As well as the podcast. And what made you start the podcast?
I love talking.
Yeah, I can tell. That's why I think I've known you for longer.
It's funny. The idea started from when, it's so silly, when I had these super angsty teenagers in class one time, and they would come in and they would just be so like, oh my God, Miss Lyla, I need to talk to you. And when you're a dance teacher, you have to like also let, your students talk to you sometimes. So we would call it talk time, and we would sit in a circle, and I would put them on a timer for 1 minute each.
Hilarious, yeah.
So that's how the name Talk Time with Lyla started. And then when I started promoting my show, I was like, and during COVID, I really wanted to help expose other artists, when things were not really happening.
Yes.
So I just used that title, and here we are today.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember you saying that with your students. Yeah, I think as a dance teacher, you're a teacher, you're a therapist, you're a listener, you're everything. It's I'm not qualified for this, but I'll listen kind of thing. Yeah.
Even now, my I'm teaching mostly adults now, but on a regular basis, I'm like, okay, we're not having a dance lesson today. We need to sort some things out.
And I often say, and I'd be intrigued to hear what you think about this, when I'm dancing with someone or I give advice to someone, I can tell about their life by the way they accept either the constructive criticism or the notes. What can you tell about when you're dancing with people? It takes like 30 seconds, right? And you're
Yes.
like, what?
Yeah, I mean, well, the first thing is you can tell if somebody's inexperienced or not.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty much as
Yeah,
soon as
straight
they
away.
get to put their hand out.
Yes.
And I always tell my students, like, you don't need to tell people you're new.
Yeah.
We know.
That's hilarious.
The second you start, yeah, you can kind of like perceive the person's like emotional state a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, are they holding on to you tightly? Are they looking at you? Are they
Yeah.
engaged with you? When we start in closed position, I like to assess.
Yes.
Like, are they allowing me to, like, are they letting it go, or are they holding me in? Are they responding to me, or are they pushing me in another direction?
Yeah.
So you can a little bit see, like, ooh, is this person like angry today? Are they happy?
How are they feeling?
Sad? Like, what's going on? Are they nervous?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you think when you're teaching, what couples dances do you teach?
West Coast swing.
Okay.
And country swing.
I'm saying nothing.
Okay, good.
And then what do you think your real talent is when you're teaching partner dancing? What's your thing you love teaching?
Oh, that's such a great question. My skill as an educator is to, I know this sounds so funny. People come to me and they have things that they tell me that they've never been able to do.
Mm-hmm.
And because I have been teaching so long, I can't even verbalize how I can do it.
Yeah.
But I can get them through whatever that thing is. That
Okay.
they're like, oh, I can never do blah, or I can never do this. And I think I've tried to identify why I'm successful at that. And I think it's because I educate in a way that some people don't do, is I actually spend more time validating what they do right as opposed to what they do wrong.
Yes.
It's not that I don't make corrections, like you 100% have to say, like, here's
Yes.
the way to do it. But especially in like a large class setting, I spend way more time saying you did this right,
Yes.
and right, and let's just keep progressing.
Yeah.
As opposed to
Picking the thing.
picking
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, I guess there's that concept. If we focus on what people are doing right, that grows and slowly pushes out the stuff they're doing wrong. If we've got 100%, that's really interesting.
And the wrongness comes out with reps.
Yes.
Like, there's no way, people, I tell my students, like, I'm not going to fix your frame in today's lesson.
Yeah.
It's a completely unreal expectation.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give you the tools and we're going to keep drilling it. And 6 months down the line, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, my frame.
Yeah, yeah. So for new dancers, what's a tough thing you have to tell them? What's something that you tell them that they maybe don't want to hear? Is there anything that you've experienced over and over?
That they don't want to hear. I don't, maybe you agree with this. I feel like I didn't understand how much practice it takes for West Coast swing. Like, I came in fully expecting that I would be a champion in a year.
Yeah.
I was 100%.
Yeah, I'm a professional dancer. It's going to be fine. Yeah.
Because I've picked up other dance forms so quickly. Like, I've learned something for a show and then all of a sudden I was, teaching it and doing it. But this was a big reality check for me. I really had to check my ego and humble myself and really just allow yourself to lean into the process and the dance form. So I still have students that come to me with that expectation, oh, I want to get through novice right now. And I'm like, no, you don't. Just go through the process and keep practicing.
Yeah, and I think that someone once said to me, West Coast swing is like an onion. You peel it open, you cry again, and you peel another layer and you cry. And it still feels like that, even for myself. So I really do appreciate with students when they're stressing out. And I'm like, I get it. Like, I'm still feeling that. It's such a tricky dance form.
Totally.
Yeah. So if there's any new dancers watching, what's the biggest mistake they might make? So what's some advice you can give to them that they're probably doing?
Oh, that technically they're
could be
technically
doing, it could be mindset, it could be going into a dance and hiding in the corner. I've had students that go, no one asks me to dance. And then I see them at the social dance and they're in the shadows like Batman. And I'm like, you need to come forward, be seen.
Yeah, I've talked about this before. I think adults are so hard on themselves in dance. A lot of times people are professionals and then they decide to start dancing, but they have the expectation in their mind that they're going to be as good at dance as they are in whatever life skill that they are. And in order to even step into the classroom, I think it takes it's actually a tremendous amount of courage. I have, just the other day, for example, I was in the doctor's office, and of course the lady was asking me, what am I doing? What do I do for a living? I tell her I'm a dancer, and she's like, oh, I always wanted to dance, but I have no talent. And I'm like, girl, nobody has talent.
Yeah.
Some people have talent,
Yeah.
but most of us had to go through the process and struggle and learn.
Yeah.
So I think the hardest thing for them is to overcome their own insecurities and expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And accepting everyone's feeling that. I always remember a dance partner of mine years ago used to say, Glenn, I get so nervous. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. And I just go, everyone's nervous.
Totally.
But she wanted to be the most nervous.
Yeah.
Like, no, but I'm the most nervous. And it's kind of the same. It's like when going into a new group class, or everyone's kind of nervous. But if you think that's just you, there's the problem. It's kind of like, no, we're all feeling it. We're all a bit angsty. We're all a bit,
Yeah.
So I think that's great advice.
Nervous.
Oh my
Do you get
goodness.
nervous?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Every performance.
Yeah, every
change.
performance, yeah. And I would be worried if I wasn't, because
Yes.
that kind of gives you that extra spike, that extra attention to what you're doing.
100%.
Yeah.
Do you get nervous in the same way that you used to when you were less experienced?
Potentially more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same.
like it's quite weird. And I think as you get a bit older, whether it's that I don't know whether you think about consequence more, or I don't know, when you're young, maybe there's a bit more ignorance to it. Or for me personally, what about you?
It's a little bit more controlled, but also I think I get more nervous because I feel like the expectation from the people around you is a lot higher.
Yeah.
But even in spotlights at my home studio that we do every week when we're demoing, I go on before and I'm holding Brooklyn's hand, okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's funny. But yeah, it's all part of it. So what are you?
Smile as soon as
And then
you
what are you working on in your dancing at the moment? What's your West Coast swing thing that you're playing with?
I am trying to loosen up.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually spent, like I said, I for sure came into the dance with a giant ego, expecting that I should just be perfect and win everything. And for a little while, about a whole year, I actually cut out all of my other, I had flash in my dancing so that I could solely focus on being a great swing dancer. And I won't say I'm a great swing dancer yet. However, the West Coast swing technique has settled in enough on my body where I can start to add other things.
Yes.
So I still find that I'm just very constricted in my own dancing. And I even just yesterday I was in a workshop with Sean and Alyssa, and they were talking about breathing. And I had the idea that it was breathing, expanding. Oh no, they were talking about actually breathing.
Just breathing.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I don't breathe at all when
That's
I'm
hilarious.
dancing. I hold my breath and I get to the end and I'm like, why am I so livid?
Yeah, in routines, I choreograph in breathing.
That's so smart.
I'm like, this is my breathing moment. Yeah, because you just don't breathe. You're just tense and tense.
Yeah.
So with your other disciplines, which one do you think's helped West Coast swing the most? I mean,
that's a great question.
I would assume tap, but...
Yes. However, the problem is I hear everything.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Like a drummer.
I don't hear, I had actually kind of prior starting to West Coast swing, I had kind of trained myself out of listening to the lyrics so that I could understand the spaces in between the rhythm of the music. And those are the spaces that I personally find when I'm tap dancing. So when I first started, it was just so spastic.
That's so funny.
Somehow I still made it, but it was, so rhythmically, I'm really I never have a problem hearing where the music is.
Yes.
So that's a positive.
That's helped it. Yeah.
But I think that it's honestly my ballet training that is helping me with the rest of it now.
Yes.
Now that I'm a bit more set into West Coast swing technique, I tell my students this too, focus on the technique, and then all of a sudden your other dance training will kind of just magically show up.
Yeah, rather than the other way around. When I came in from hip hop, it was do all your funky footwork. And I'm like, I can't, I don't know how yet. Yeah. It's well, you do it. I'm like, okay. And then I would do something terrible. And then I had to kind of do what you said, strip that back, and slowly that can layer in. Yeah. So back to the podcast. So what's our goal with our goal? I'm now part of the podcast. podcast.
Hey,
What's your goal? Yeah,
we have things to talk about later.
exactly.
This is the first one, yeah.
So what's your goal with the podcast? Like, how often are you going to interview people? How often it's going to be released, and where
Yeah.
can people find it?
That's a great question. I'd love to have people on every week.
Cool.
That's, my goal. I mean, some people podcast every day. I don't know that that's my life goal right now, but if I could have, consistently every week, that would be awesome.
That would be sweet.
And I just want to communicate with as many people as possible. And
all different dance forms?
All different
That's
dance
great.
forms. West Coast Swing is my newest dance form.
Yes.
So I have connections in the entertainment industry all over the place, even, sound people and, actors and whatever.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's really, really fun to bring those people on. And also, now that I have this connection to our community, you see how many different genres of artistry there is in the world.
Yeah.
So.
And if people want you to interview certain people, or if they've got questions they want you to ask people, where can they kind of get in touch with you and give you suggestions and all that?
I should have thought about that before we did this.
We'll put a note below.
Find me on Instagram or Facebook, Lyla Ruth, and send me a message. That's probably the easiest
Yeah.
way. I also have a website, dancewithlyla.com.
There you go. See, you were prepared. You got it. Yeah. That's super cool. Is there anything else you think we should know about you before we wrap it up? I want to know, is there any news that you think we should know? Or
news. I just want to say that I am so happy that I found West Coast Swing.
Mm-hmm.
It has completely, just the structure, the community has honestly changed me as a person. And it helps me, in Tampa, because I've been choreographing for so long. Mm-hmm. I've won a lot of awards. Everybody knows me. I'm at the top of my game.
Yeah.
And I had honestly gotten a little bit complacent.
Yeah.
And when I came into this dance and had to work so hard, it really helped humble me as a person.
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and I've really taken that into other parts of my life. And I love I'm not really new anymore, but I've loved the process of being new again and going through that journey. So I'm grateful for you and everybody else in the community who has, supported me. And I'm going to keep going.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I often go to different dance forms, whether it's Lindy Hop or salsa, and I go, I love not being known. I love it. It's quite nice. But then all of a sudden you're like, well, I kind of want you to know who I am as well. I kind of want you to know I'm a big deal.
I swear to you, when I first walked into a ballroom for the first time and not everybody said hi to me, I was really upset.
Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, that's so funny.
I was like, this is a dance form. Everybody should know me.
Just get some glitter out your pocket. Throw it in the air. That's hilarious.
True. 100% true. I'm going to own that.
That's so cool. So at this point, normally I'd wrap it up to the camera, but as it's your podcast, I feel like you need to do the wrap up, and I'll just sit back again.
Thank you so much for being here. And
you got it. Thank you for asking me. Yeah, it was so sweet to actually, as I say, I feel like I've known you 10 years, whether it's only that long, but actually find out your story, because we've done it in passing, so it's been really fun.
Totally cool. And then, if you have any fun projects on the way, we can talk about those again another time. And
sounds good.
Yeah, it's good. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you liked this. This was our first one, and we will see you again next time.